What's going on? Did you miss me? Oh, friends and family and friends, welcome. Welcome. It is time. You know that I need a social media break every once in a while, but here I am back again live, ready for you, and I hope that you are ready for me. It is time for the Grover Takeover. All of you that have been messaging me, DMing me, sending your little shady hints underneath my Facebook post because I hadn't been doing my show, here I am. So I tell you what, you better watch and then you better bring everybody that you know because it is time, because we are going to take over. Before I get started, I need for you to like, I need for you to subscribe, I need for you to reach down and click that notification bell if you are watching this on Facebook. And remember that I need for you to share. I feel like wasting breath because I say this all the time. And what do you guys do? You don't share. Then it's okay. We are still building and we are still going. If you like it, if you love it, share it. Now let's move on because it is time for us to start off. And I am going to do this a little bit different today. I have a special guest. You guys know that you love it when I have a guest. Now, you are familiar with this guest. Come on, Blondie. Come on, bring yourself, pop yourself on up there. There you go. She's popped up, and there she is. We have Blondie Lockhart. Woo! How you been?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be back for the takeover.
Absolutely. And I am so glad to have you. This season, I am going to be doing a lot more guests. And in fact, if you would like to be a guest on Grover Takeover, go ahead and DM me. All you're going to have to do is get Zoom and you can talk and tell me what you want to talk about. And you might just be a guest. I'm considering a little, what you think about a little call-in segment, but a little, pop in when I'm talking about stuff.
Oh, I think they'll like that. They get to chime in live. They're going to like
that. Yes, indeed. And indeed, yes. So, for those who do not know you, Blondie, please share what you do, your business, and what your business does, all that good stuff.
Thank you so much. So I am Blondie Lockhart. I am a content marketing coach. And it's just what the name says, but I don't mind breaking it down because everybody doesn't, content marketing. What is that? I focus on content creation and social media marketing. I just mash the words together. And essentially, that just means that I help business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives with their content creation, but we also throw in the social media marketing aspect because I noticed a lot of times when it comes to content creation, they'll tell you, oh, well, make this, record this, do this video, whatever the case may be. But then you don't have the marketing behind it. So you're just making videos, but who are you making them for? Who are you talking to when you're making these videos? You need the marketing behind it. Otherwise, you're just kind of spinning your wheels. So like I said, we merge those two together. So content marketing, I help people with their content creation for social media to help them bring in new clients, new customers, meet their sales goals, make that money. That's what I
do. Yeah. Let me help you guys out there because for a little layman's term, because some of you are dumb. So let's make sure we understand that what she does, if you do stuff on social media, ID, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff, and you kind of don't know how to navigate and move your way through, that's what she does. She teaches you and helps you and shows you how to do that. And what her business does, that if you pay her, she will do it for you.
There we go.
You see how I worked that out, how I went that around? Now, you guys all know that Blondie is my sister, my sister cousin. My family is very close for those, because the reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of you that are my followers, and I thank you and I love you, but you know me personally. You know that she is my sister cousin. So I know all this information, but I'm going to be asking her a lot of questions that you might be like, why is he talking to her like you don't know her? I am doing this because we're doing a show. So now, everything you just told us that you're doing with your business, what made you choose that industry?
So when it comes to content creation, I've always been a creative and I've always loved media. So when I was younger, I remember one time I was under 10 and I know my mom had let me dress up as Oprah for Halloween. And it's like, how do you become Oprah for Halloween? Let me tell you what my mama did, okay? We got me a little curled bob wig. I had me a little microphone and a briefcase. It didn't fully make sense, but if anybody asked, I'm Oprah Winfrey. I'm Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, indeed. You should have had a microphone, though.
Yes, always had the microphone. It was a little.
Where was I when this was happening? Because I would have totally come up with this idea.
It was a little echo microphone, but you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay, so I love that. And then as I got older, I got into social media. I went to college and then I fell in love with media all over again because I kind of waned away from it, just doing a little social media stuff here and there. But then I got to college and I was like, ooh, I want to be on TV again. Like that spark started. And I went into news, behind the scenes. I went into radio. Media and me, it's my thing, right? And when it came to my business, I started over a year ago and I was like, well, I want to help people with their social media, not marketing, but with Facebook ads. That's where I started with. And I was like, oh, I see this area where people need my help, and crickets. I was like, I'm going to help attorneys with their Facebook ads. Crickets. Everybody was telling me it was a great idea, but nobody was buying. So you have to pivot. You have to learn when to shift. So a lot of people say when you're trying to figure out what you should do for a business, what is something that you do that comes easily to you and something that people ask you for. And it just so happened, I had a friend, an associate asked me, hey, I want your help. And I'm thinking they wanted help with Facebook ads. And they were like, no, I want you to help me create content. And I was like, you would pay me to do that? I help you do that for free.
Right.
Absolutely, you can pay me to do something that I was going to do for free anyway, and it's something that I'm good at. I'm very creative. I come up with a lot of ideas. Then I learned a lot about marketing and how to speak to people. I'm really a people person, even though I don't want to be outside with people a lot of times. But
no, thank you.
I'm a people person, so
no, thank you. I just did a post today, and like a good neighbor, stay over there. Stay over there. We don't. No,
we don't. But if we
don't want it.
But if I have to, I can. So that's really how it came about, because I had a client who actually dubbed the term content marketing. I had never heard of that before. She might have made it up. I'm not sure, but I realized I was doing content creation plus the marketing aspect, and we combine them together, and my business has been what it is ever since then. And I absolutely love what it is that I'm doing. And it's so crazy when you think about it. Some of the stuff that we dream about or that we're interested in doing wasn't even a career when we were children. Like you're a whole YouTube host where we're going further than YouTube, but YouTube wasn't even around when you were younger. And people are like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And this is where we are. And like, I literally created a lane for myself for this is what I want to do for a living. I just created it. And a lot of stuff with innovation, that's where it comes from. So I love what I do, and I love helping people with my talents. I love that.
That is incredible. And and of course, that I am one of your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
And I have mentioned it before, but I don't ever want anyone to forget that the first time I ever did this, I used to be on your show with you, Blonde Moment. And when we stopped doing that, because life happens, it expanded, whatever, I couldn't get rid of the bug. And I will never, ever stop telling people that it was my family. It was you, it was your sister, it was the encouragement from all of our family that got me to start doing this show, to the point that they even bought the equipment for me to start the show as a Christmas gift. So I had no choice but to do it. So thank you, of course, for that. We talk about it all the time, just in family moments. But okay, having started that, like, give me some, we have these regular jobs that we still have to work, but give me what, the benefits are of being an entrepreneur.
I really enjoy entrepreneurship. And the number one thing I can say that is a plus or a benefit of being an entrepreneur is the freedom that you have. You get to make your schedule. I am not a morning person. So if I decide that I don't want to take client calls until 10 a.m., until 11 a.m., that's what I can do. I can decide to create my own schedule. If my family needs me, that's one of the biggest points that I love. If my family needs me, not necessarily in a dire situation, but just let's say if it's, hey, my car broke down, or I got a flat tire, can you come pick me up from wherever, or what I need to be taken to the airport, whatever the case may be, I can be available because my schedule is so flexible. I can move things around in order to be there for them whenever I need them. Because it's not even like, oh, I'm not at the point, hope to get there, but I'm not at the point of entrepreneurship to just be like, you know what? It's Wednesday. You know what I should do? Bora Bora. Like, we're not there yet. So that's coming. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yes, indeed. Oh,
but
yes,
at the
indeed.
moment, it's just the freedom to adjust my schedule to help my family and be there for them. We are a very close, tight-knit family. And if somebody needs something, we are there for each other. So me having the freedom to be able to be there when my family needs me, or just to spend family time together. Oh, we're going to the fair. Oh, we're going to, we have homecoming at church, or whatever it is. I can be there for those family moments, those major holidays, those major events. I can actually be there and not have to, oh, well, I can't because I have to work. So I love that. That's the best thing to me.
So incredible. And being a part of that family, I benefit from that. We have to be realistic about this thing. Everything is not all green grass and pretty red roses. So what are some negatives, though, of being an entrepreneur?
Yes, because there are two sides to everything. And yes, one of the negatives to entrepreneurship, as I've heard it said before, you eat what you kill. So if you don't kill nothing, you don't eat. And there can be droughts. It can be real dry and tumbleweedish. And
yes.
until you figure out how to really get this thing together. And I remember speaking with one of my associates through entrepreneurship, because you make a lot of networking connections when you really get out there and talk to other people and you see what you all have in common. So I did join a mentorship program, and I met an amazing group of ladies who we're still in contact with each other. We send each other encouragement, check on each other, and support each other.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you. Yes, they're amazing. Shout out to my Safari sisters. That's what we call ourselves. And one of the ladies, she has been in entrepreneurship for over a decade. And she was like, it doesn't matter. That's not something that goes away, because you just never know how the tide is going to shift. And we've seen that before with major corporations. One day they're on top, and then the next day something could happen, cancel culture or whatever. It could just be that that's not useful anymore. Just thinking about technology, how it has advanced over time. It's certain things that, like children today have no idea what a Walkman is, or like a house phone, stuff like that, a rotary phone, things like that.
Yes. So, do you know how crazy it is that I am the boss? Like I'm somebody's boss, which I have been for a long time. But the difference when I first became a manager of anything, I was like 21. All these years later, it is crazy when I tell my staff, and I'm like, I remember when there were not cell phones, and when I remember when computers came. I remember when computer printers were made, that gigantic like that kind of thing. Is crazy that we are alive and living in such a different era and age. Go ahead. I just wanted to throw that in there.
No, but you're absolutely right. So that just knowing that things can change in business, and that never really goes away, that I would say that is a negative. Like, of course, you want to get to the point to where your business is stable and smooth, and you can employ as many people as possible and give back to your community and things like that. But I will say the negative is that if you're not good with budgeting your money, you might want to wait on some entrepreneurship, or wait until you get enough money to hire an accountant or something like that, because the fluctuation can really take you out if you're not prepared to weather the storm. Because even if you have an amazing idea, you don't know when it's going to take off. And it could be instantaneous, but what if you're one of those people? I love this story that my brother has told in like speeches that he's given, is that the company 409, the cleaning product 409, it's not 409 because that's the area code or that's just a random number. That is the 409th formula that actually worked. So he went to 408, and we don't know how many years that took. So if you don't have the wherewithal, the finances, the mental stability to stick with it, it's going to eat you alive. That's really why they say entrepreneurship is not for everybody, because it's a lot of storms that you're going to have to weather, because even if it does take off immediately, how are you going to sustain that? How are you going to keep up with everything? I got one more story real quick. One of the companies that I love is Support Black College. And Support Black College was doing great with their company. And then one Black Friday, they blew up and they made $1 million in one day. Now, the company is still around. If you find them on Instagram, they're still around, still making hoodies and stuff. But they got swarmed and made $1 million in one day. That's amazing. However, they had to fill $1 million worth of orders in one day for Black Friday, and they couldn't do it. And a lot of people still have a bad taste in their mouth because it's 2, maybe 3 years later. I think that happened in 2019, and some people still haven't gotten their stuff. So if your business explodes like that, that can be one of the hardships of entrepreneurship, because now you have to, yes, that's great, but you have to keep up with all of that. So just all the fluctuations and changes that can come in entrepreneurship, you gotta have the mental fortitude to go through with it. You gotta have the balance in your life in order to keep up with everything, and you gotta have the finances. So I would say those are 3 things that can be negatives when it comes to entrepreneurship.
You gotta have a job. Keep your job.
Unless you're a millionaire,
know that you have a steady income coming in, keep a job. I love that 409 story. That did something that sat down in my spirit for a second, but I love that. Like, that was an incredible story. I had never heard your brother tell that story, but then he blows hard, and so a lot of times I like to get on the other side of the wind. But was that? Oh, I'm sorry, palm trees. I didn't mean to do that. But I did love that story. But keeping a job, this is the thing. I do some stuff. I know a lot of stuff, and I have some side hustles, quite a few of them. One of them lives down to my throat, and I get paid for that one. Another one lives up in my brain and my skill as a restaurateur, because I can do that. But I keep a job because those things. Okay, I tell you what. She's encouraging you. I'm telling you, be scared. Be scared. Hold on to your job.
I'm warning you, because that's why I said it is not for everybody, and it will kick you. Can we cuss? I'm not gonna cuss. I don't know if my mama gonna see this. You don't know if it's gonna kick you in the fanny can or when it's going to. So if you like, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Yes. Make a side hustle and wait till the side hustle replaces the main hustle. Otherwise, just be
very clear that all of your dreams, they may be dreams, but they all take work. It is work. Like, there is a reason that I take a break from doing this show. It's because it's a lot of work for me to get it done when I have a whole life and a career going on at the same time. I love doing this, and I cannot wait for the day when I can do it full time. But because of that, and you know this, of course, I push, and then I just fall off and I take a break because I have to. You must. So also make time for yourself. Now, what's some lessons that you've learned from your entrepreneurship journey?
I would say one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is time management. I have zero concept of time. Well, I can't say that anymore. Well, first of all, let me rewind.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You are always late, and you're always the last one. You can say that you have zero. You can say it. I'm going to say it if she doesn't say it.
Well, what I want to change first, the number one lesson that I have learned, it comes with your mind state and your mental. And we've always said this. We grew up in church and we learned that the power of the tongue, what you say you will bring into fruition. So that's why I said, let me change it, because I want to say I am working on my time management. So you got to watch what you say, because you can be like, oh, this sucks. This is bad. Guess what? It's going to continue to suck and it's going to continue to be bad. And not saying that if you start speaking about it positive, it's going to change overnight, but at least if you change your mindset, attitude of gratitude, it's definitely going to help you move through and navigate that situation a whole lot better. So that's a part of getting your mind right before you start with entrepreneurship. I've had several business coaches and I thought it was all woo-woo and foolishness, but every single one of them started with at least 1 week just focusing on mindset, because if your mind is not right, it will eat you up and spit you out. And that is with anything. If you're starting a new career path, if you're about to go back to school, if you are taking on a new hobby, you got to have your mind right. If you go in the door with whatever it is that you're about to do and you're thinking, I can't do this, guess what? You're absolutely right. If you go in the door and you're like, I can't do this, I'm going to be amazing, you're at whatever it is you say, you are absolutely right. So that's the first thing that I learned. I would say
Come on, down. Come on, Pastor. The evangelist.
The other thing I would say is that another big lesson that I learned is helping with my time management. I am still a work in progress, but I was just kind of like, well, I work hard. So I did, when it came to a job, I would do everything right. I would work hard. I would work overtime. I'm going to give you the best work that I have, but I ain't going to be on time.
Yes, indeed.
I'm like, oh, I can do everything. Everything else checks off the list, but punctuality. Yeah. So I'm like, well, no, I can't do that, because I know when I get an employee, I know how I want to work with these employees. So let me show up how, again, where it comes to the mind, let me show up how I want my future employees to show up for me. Let me be on time. Let me make sure that they understand that their time is valuable. I appreciate their time. I appreciate them hiring me, whatever the case may be, and show that not by saying it every single day or staying late. You don't have to stay late if you come on time and you start working. So I am working on that. And then time management, because like I said, one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is freedom. However, the flip side of that is if you don't manage your time well, you could be like, oh, well, I have this work to do for this client. I'll get to it at 1. I'll get to it at 3.
And the next thing you know is 4 days later.
There we go. And now you got a bad reputation because you don't fulfill your orders. You don't communicate with your clients, whatever
exactly.
The case may be. So if you don't manage your time, that freedom will get away from you. And you're just like, especially if you're the type of person, which a lot of people are, if you don't get paid all of it up front, you get a good sum of money up front. So you like, the money's in the bank, whatever. That's when you get labeled as a scammer. So don't do
exactly. Yes. I am so glad you said that. Yes. I am so glad you said that, because like the thing is, you have to take your side hustle and your business seriously, and you don't want to be that guy, that or girl for that matter, because a lot of y'all out there selling cheap wigs with the track showing and stuff like that. You can't be doing that. You can't do that. I saw a video like that earlier today. Now, I'm gonna segue a little bit. Let's make this a little bit more fun, because we're doing some serious talk, and at the Takeover, I got to have me some fun. So what is something that people wouldn't guess about you? Like something fun, though. What is something fun that you like to do that people would never guess about you, Blondie?
Oh, I share a lot. Let me try to think of some. Sheesh, I just.
Something fun, and I mean as random as you can think about, like the most random thing.
I know. I'm like, because what I used to do all the time, my go-to all the time was like, I'm a natural blonde. This is my natural. Yes. That's not fun anymore.
People it's not, because now it's too many. Look, now it's too many biracials out there with naturally blonde hair that are, what I'm saying? You're black, but you got blonde hair. So that's not a thing no more. Yeah. And plus, we can look at you and tell that you're blonde. But I guess people wouldn't necessarily know you're naturally blonde. But Come on. So I need better. You got to do better than that. Sorry.
I would say, the first thing that's coming to mind is how much I love to bake. So in college, my nickname was actually Betty Crocker. So I used to tell people I'm Betty Crocker, but my mama is Sarah Lee, because my mama was the cake lady at church. And I was like, I'm following her footsteps.
What? You said was.
Is the cake lady at church.
But see, now it's just when she wants to be, but
Absolutely.
She was. Yeah.
So I used to say, they'd be like, oh, well, you're Betty Crocker. And I was like, well, my mama is Sarah Lee. Okay. I think I said Sarah Hines earlier, but whatever. I was like, my mama, if I'm Betty Crocker, then my mama is Sarah Lee. So I do enjoy baking. I don't do it as much just because usually when when you're baking, it's not like I'm going to make a mug cake. No, I'm going to make a full-size cake, and we try to stay slim. So we can't just be eating a whole cake. And then I've been working places where I may have one or two employees, so it's not a whole, back when I've had, that's another thing. I've had several careers in my lifetime. So
yes,
I've had
we all have.
I've had careers where I've had like 20, 30 people in a newsroom. So if I baked an entire cake, or I baked a baker's dozen of cupcakes, then they would be gone, in a day. So being that I don't have that anymore, I don't bake as much as I used to. I'll just usually be like, oh, I want this for breakfast, so let me make some bread right quick. Let me make some pumpkin bread or something like that, or make some muffins. But I do enjoy baking a lot.
Let's just stop. She is really not giving herself the credit. The way she just said that her mom is the freaking Betty Crocker, baker with the family, she literally is now becoming like the torch is being passed. Like she does quite a few of the desserts at the family function, and she's sitting there acting like she every once in a while out on the stove, and I might think about she does it. Like, don't even let her fool you. I couldn't even listen to it no more because it was just garbage.
I have to put that disclaimer out there, because when I tell you, in college, every week I was baking something.
People wanted you to bake all the time.
Yes,
that's what you were trying to downplay it.
Yes, coming by my dorm, like, what you made this week? Oh, wait a minute now. And then when I got to the job where I was like working at the news station, and I was around so many people, then like every holiday I was baking something. Every time we had like a function in the office, oh, we're having a party because so-and-so is leaving, I would bake something. So even then it might have went down to once a month, to now it's like every so often. So that's why I said that for people, because I still have people who knew me from college who are like, you don't bake no more, you don't do, and they were the main ones being like, so what you bake this week? You got some cookies over there? I like to put that out there, because then I got a phone call talking about, so you baking again, so let me place an order. No.
Yes, indeed. I love it. Let me think. I want to do a few more questions for you here. I'm not done with you yet. Now, before I ask her these questions, I do want to let my regular viewers know I'm gonna do some takeover stuff at the end. Can we do something different? We're gonna talk about what we usually talk about, because I know how my people are. My people. I know exactly how they are. They get right in my DMs and come after me when I don't talk about the current events and the things that they want to talk about. But I want to segue a little bit, and I want to ask, what do you believe is your biggest achievement?
Wow. My biggest achievement, I would say, in recent events, my biggest achievement is my reputation. Like, I know that it's like, what? Like, I growing up, I didn't really try. We'll just call it what it is. I was just present. If I was in a club, I was member, whatever. I wasn't trying to outshine. I wasn't trying to, do too much. But as of recent events, I've had a lot of people be like, well, they saw me on social media, and I would say not just my reputation, my personality, and it really shines through. One of my nicknames is Sunshine, and golden shirt that fits.
I didn't even realize we both had on yellow until we both had on yellow. Like we were talking a minute ago, and I just looked, and I was like, oh, we both have on yellow. Good.
But my bright personality, who I am unapologetically me, and a lot of people are drawn to me because of that. And I will say, that was something that got to me when I first started my business. I was like, I'm going to be a faceless business because I don't want people to not want to work with me because I have lashes and I have my nails and my locks and I like to look a certain way. And I didn't want people to judge me because of that. But actually, when I put my face out there and my personality exudes through these videos and my pictures, and that made people want to work with me. So I would say that, because like I said, awards and stuff, that's never really been my thing because I never really tried. So, I mean, when I do try, like I've been employee of the month. I've been, the sunshine in the office, the person that everybody wants to work with, the person that everybody wants to be around because I'm just me. So I would say that is definitely one of my biggest accomplishments, that I finally got comfortable in my own skin, because I was trying to be somebody else. I don't know who, but I wasn't trying to be me for quite some time. And then once I actually was like, I like me and I'm going to show up as me. And if you don't like it, that's cool, but that's not going to stop me from being me. And once I did that and I fully stood 10 toes down and who I am and who I want to be and where I'm going, things have just been amazing ever since. And like I said, there are people who seek me out because of who I am and how I represent myself. So I would say that's a really big accomplishment for me.
That's awesome. And that is a really big accomplishment. It really, really is. To be yourself and live in your own lane. Unfortunately, I was raised by Lorraine, so I've been myself since the beginning.
You didn't
Anybody that when I was a child, this is the thing, I've never been picked on because I didn't ever give a fuck. Because when they tried to pick on me, I just stand there and look at them. And then when my mouth started running, it was a whole situation. Now you want to fight me because it started off as you thinking you were going to pick on me, but you didn't realize that I am a whole savage. I was a savage before it was a hashtag. Long time ago.
I can confirm.
So I want to ask you this, and I'm about to throw you off a little bit here. I want to ask you, what is your best advice for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur in this new age of entrepreneurship where there are so many ships to sail?
I would say my best advice is when I'm working with clients, and I've gotten some people who are still trying to figure it out, and I'm going to be honest, I don't work with those people. If you don't know, then I can't give it to you. But if the advice for those people that I do give, because it's not like I won't talk to you at all. I'm just saying, as a client, as a business owner, I'm not going to take your money, and I know what I'm trying to do is going to go beyond the scope of what I say that I'm going to do. Not that I can't, it's just I know my lane. I know where it is that I'm trying to go. Could I help you develop your business? Sure. Could I help you develop to set up your business? Absolutely. That's not my lane. You go to a business development coach, you go to take a course on how to start a business, something like that. That's not my lane. So that's not where I choose to reside. Can I do it? But I'm not. Yes, but I'm not going to. So I would say for those type of people, and when I get with my clients and they're trying to figure out what it is that they want to do, I always give them a list of questions. And in that list of questions, some of the things that I ask, and it also helps with content creation. So if y'all are thinking about stuff that you need to make videos on or want to make videos on when it comes to your business or your business idea, what's going to help you is this. Figure out who it is that you're talking to. Figure out what it is that this person is going to buy. And then you need to think about the content it is that you're going to create around it. So are you going to make videos? Are you going to take pictures? Things like that. So when we break that down even further, when you're making that content, you need to think of at least, I'll say start off with 10 things, like
10. Stop. That's enough of that. The rest of it you can pay for because not too much. Not too much.
Well, this is the free stuff that I give out on social media, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna just finish my sentence. Okay, let me just give them this little piece of tea. That's it.
Okay. Because you know I was about to break that up. You know me. I'm the manager. I'm like, wait a minute. You give too many secrets.
Because this gonna help them out right here to let you know if you even need to start this business. You need to think of 10 to 20 frequently asked questions or things that people want to know about what it is that you do. So if you bake, if you do nails, if you do hair, think of 10 to 20 things. Well, you know what? We'll just shoot high. Think of 20 things that people want to know. If you can't come up with that, you in the wrong industry. That's what it really is. Because if you get to the point, I'm running out of things to say. You should never run out of things to say. If this is your business, if this is what you love, if this is what you do, you should know it like the back of your hand. So therefore, you should always be coming up with ideas. We can sit up there. For me and my business, sitting here, I can come up with 50 content creation ideas just based off of what's going on in your image just alone on your side of the screen. Because this is what I do, content creation. I can create content out of anything. I can
love it.
Show me a plant, content creation. I'll show you. You going to walk your dog. I bet you I'll show you how to make that into some content and relate it to whatever business you're in, because that's what I do. I know how to do that. So therefore, if you're in a business or you're thinking about starting a business and you're stuck and you don't know what to say, if you can't make that list of 20 things that people want to know about your business or frequently asked questions or whatever, you need to pick something else, because this ain't for you, baby.
It is not. Now, and I'm going to be very honest, I interrupted her and did that little thing I just did because I knew she was going to keep going. Because she was on a roll. But I interjected like that because I want you guys to understand that everything that you're focused on at the moment, sometimes you need a break in it and jump back to it. I wanted to break that up because I didn't want you to get on a roll of being like, oh, these are all the solutions to all my problems. No, they're not. You have to put in your part of the work, and then sometimes you have to break away, and then you come back, and then you put in your work, and then you break away, and then you come back. And all the things that she was saying, like, it's just like, I know she knows what she's talking about, so we'll get to that in a minute. Blondie.
But I also didn't mind the interjection just because you also know, because this is what I love, I could talk about social media marketing, content creation all day long. All day. And then you'd be like, well, you done gave them all the tea. What they paying you for? But baby, there's so much more. Okay.
So much more. So much more.
So I get it. And I do appreciate that, because, you know, I would just be like, and this is what you can do with this. So you were right to slow me down. You were right. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you can't see it. So you got to have somebody else to be like, hey, chill out.
Yes. And there's a method to my madness in a lot of things that I do. Like, I really wanted to stop her because she was going. Hold it. Some of them are dumb. Please tell these people how they can work with you.
So you all can find me on social media. You just have to search for Blondie Lockhart. That's my name. Everywhere on social media is Blondie Lockhart. And if you want my links to everything with resources, all you have to go to is theblagency.com/Coach Blondie. So every link to my YouTube channel, to all of my social media apps, if you just want to go to one spot and find everything, you can go there. I also have my Content Creation Academy if you are interested in resources that you can use today that can help you with your content creation and your social media marketing. You can head over there for that. So that's how you can work with me.
There it is.